Well, thanks for joining us tonight. You know, we've lost track of how many times the weather has topped our newscast over the last few months, every time for the wrong reason. Well, forget the snowstorms, the torrential rains, the hail, or even the tornadoes. Environment Canada says there's going to be a turn for the better here in the GTA. Jennifer Palstock now on how 2011 may not be a weather write-off after all. Good evening. We begin with breaking news tonight. What began as celebration ended tonight in tragedy. Just after the Toronto Caribbean Carnival came to a close, gunshots rang out, leaving one person dead. Let's bring in Global's Jennifer Palstock now with the latest. And Jennifer, what can you tell us at this hour?
Well, Rob, EMS...
All right, Laura Dykin joins us now from the score. And Laura, the Jays had some strong pitching this afternoon, but how'd they hold up?
Yeah, well, you know, big crowd there. Rob.
Yeah, you can bet on that. So the Jays, they get the pitching, but they just have to close the deal, Laura.
It just seems like not one thing always works, right? You're scoring 13 runs one day, and then the other day you got a hot pitcher on the go. So
all right, hot day tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Hot pitcher. Upsetting indeed. Thanks, Jennifer. That was Global's Jennifer Palstock reporting for us live in the newsroom. Meantime, Toronto police are still trying to get to the bottom of another shooting, one that claimed the life of a 23-year-old man. Anthony Smalling died last night from his injuries after he was attacked in a drive-by shooting around 9 o'clock at Capri Road and the East Mall. Police are trying to piece together what the motive may have been for the attack. Witnesses say they saw two men in the vehicle from which the shots were fired. And a 32-year-old man is still in hospital with life-threatening injuries after being stabbed in the chest. This happened just around 4 a.m. this morning. The victim was attacked at Weston Road and John Street. Police say at least 4 suspects fled the scene, and they have no leads. Police are investigating. Welcome back. Before violence stained the end of Toronto's annual Caribbean Carnival, hundreds of thousands of people packed the lakeshore, enjoying one of the biggest festivals in the world. And as Jennifer Palstock tells us, it was quite the celebration.
I can never win those big ones. I only end up with this sort of the little snake or the monkey.
Yeah, I had one in my garage for about half a year, and then the mice got to it.
Bite off,
yeah, that's the way it goes.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Bill. Well, let's have a little monkey business for our last story. Why not? You might say this chimpanzee is living life on the wild side. Workers at a zoo near Bangkok trained Dodo the chimp to feed baby tiger cubs. Now, zoo officials say, unlike the others, Dodo is fearless when it comes to tigers. Look at those guys play, huh?
Yep.
Unbelievable. It's playmates now, but they could be a meal later, right?
Yeah,
Stephen Harper says he's anxious to get back to the business of governing the country. He arrived in Ottawa today for a visit with the Governor General, David Johnston, but no official date has been picked yet for the opening. Still with the aftermath of the federal election, among other things, this vote will be known for the number of young people going to Ottawa as MPs. Laura Zilke looks at why that happened and the impact it could have. And still on the roads, or in this case, a storefront. A driver lost control just before 1 o'clock this afternoon and smashed into a Blockbuster outlet. This happening at Finch and Warden. It's not clear why the driver lost control, but police say alcohol was not a factor and there were no injuries. And 4 different vehicles conveyed a blunt message today as the annual Drive Alive, Stay Sober campaign was launched. It's all about making sure people don't drink and drive. The vehicles on display, just take a look at this. They tell the tale. Drunk driving can land you in an ambulance, a hearse, or even in the back of a police car with your vehicle towed away. Yet another victim of disgraced pathologist Charles Smith has been acquitted of manslaughter in the death of his baby boy. As Marianne Demain explains tonight, the scales of justice for Richard Brandt took almost 10 years to set straight.
It's the end
Ontario
of the
is spelled C-O-T-T-A-G-E, but we're going to spell something else for you now, and you may not like it. At current gas prices, trips to cottage country will cost you more than ever, and in some cases, $100 return if you drive an SUV or a minivan. And as Ryan Sang tells us, there may be a little sunshine in the summer gas price forecast also. In other news, a Hamilton man is facing a laundry list of charges tonight for defrauding people on the internet. Now, he allegedly targeted victims on Craigslist, and the accused was convicted of a similar scam in 2007. Our crime specialist, Catherine McDonald, speaks to one of his alleged victims tonight. It's now been 3 days since Osama bin Laden was shot to death during a raid on a compound in Pakistan. Now, as you probably know, U.S. officials have these so-called death photos proving that bin Laden was in fact killed. But the White House has decided you will never see them. Steve Handelsman explains why and has more details now on the ultra-secret mission. To the market news now, falling mining and energy stocks led to a second straight day of losses on the TSX. It dropped 81 points. In New York, the Dow Jones dropped nearly 84 points, and the Loonie followed suit, losing 65 basis points, but still remains above $104 American. Now we have more tonight on that billion-dollar class action lawsuit hanging over the head of Sony. It all relates to the hacking of some 1 million Canadian users of the popular Sony PlayStation. Still ahead tonight on the NewsHour, a daring rescue in the U.S. An elderly woman is trapped in her car while floodwaters are rushing in, and we'll show you what happened next. And also ahead, heavy rain is also causing flooding on this side of the border. Our meteorologist Anthony Farnell will fill us in on the flooding in Quebec and what's in store for us. And then this may sound like an episode from Global's hit show Glee, a group of high school students with big voices and even bigger dreams. Now, this episode takes place right here in Toronto when these real-life Gleeks took center stage. They were considered the underdogs, but not anymore.
If there is